Hey, it's me. I'm back. It's been a while since I made a video, but here I am today. AEW Revolution just concluded, so we're going through everything that happened during the pay per view. We're gonna review every match. We're going to see. We're going to look. I mean, it is just a very short review. I guess you could call this the return of the Daily Zap. Of course, it is a quick 10 to 15 minute show in which I talk about everything and anything. And today we're going to talk about AEW Revolution. Of course, AEW Revolution is a pay per view by All Elite Wrestling, and there's a lot of matches. There's a lot of matches that we had here today. But you know what? Let's start first in the kickoff matches. Layla Hirsch. Layla Hirsch. I honestly I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I'm sorry. Layla, legit Layla Hirsch, defeating Chris Statlander in a really good opening match. All I want to say is they better push Layla Hirsch because she is a legit talent in the women's division. They should be giving her more opportunities, and down the line, I want to see her challenge Jade Cargill for the TBS Championship. That's probably the natural progression of things when it comes to a great young talent like Layla Hirsch. That's the next step, I guess, to her push. But a good match. Hook defeating QT Marshall. Again, Hook, he has that presence. Hook, he's not yet on the level of a Daniel Garcia or Leo Moriarty, but Hook is getting there, and he has the presence, he has the look, he has the charisma, he has the complete package to one day be a main event star in AEW. And QT Marshall, kudos to him. Like, a lot of people don't like QT Marshall, but he plays his role very perfectly, actually. So yeah, again, a really good buy-in match. And then House of Black defeating the trio of Eric Redbeard, Penta, Oscuro, and Pac. Glad to see Buddy Murphy in AEW. Had a really solid debut in my opinion. And we better get a rematch. We better get a rematch of this on Dynamite. But with the time that they were given, they really delivered. And it was on the pre-show, but it didn't take away the fact that it was a really tremendous match. You got the House of Black getting stronger with the addition of Buddy Matthews, and honestly, I want to see Buddy Matthews versus Pac. I really want to see that match down the line. I really do, because they were both they were both in 205 Live, but they never really ran into each other. I mean, when Buddy Matthews came into 205 Live, Pac was already gone anyways. So, I want to see that match. I want to see them go toe-to-toe. I don't think the storyline is over yet because Penta and Pac, I mean, they won a few weeks ago, but I feel like they haven't gotten the upper hand in this feud. And I feel like at some point, they will have the upper hand in this feud. And maybe we'll have a rubber match. Maybe when Phoenix comes back a little bit later this month or in April, if he does come back anytime soon. So that's the buy-in card. Let's dive right into the main card. How many matches did we had? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that 9 matches? No, we had 10 matches actually. We had 10 matches on the main card, which honestly, the show ran for 4 hours, and honestly, it was a drag. Like, I love AEW, but 4 hours is too much for a wrestling show. No matter how good a card is. I mean, WWE has already learned that lesson with their WrestleMania. They decided to cut WrestleMania into 2 days to not tax the audience too much. I feel like AEW needs to do a better job of cutting down the matches on their pay-per-views, because early AEW shows used to only have 5 matches, 6 matches, 7 matches. When they expanded the roster, that's when they felt like they need to have more matches. They need to include more people into pay-per-views, and that is somehow compromising the quality of the pay-per-view, because like 4 hours, that's gonna be too much for some people. You're targeting the casuals. You're targeting this demographic. You like people's attention span these days are quite short. You can't have them sit there and watch 4 hours, no matter if who's in the card, if it's great matches. 4 hours is just too long. That's my opinion about it. 3 hours, it's good. 3 and 30 still acceptable, but not 4 hours, man. Not 4 hours. I feel like they could cut a couple of matches here, put them either on TV or in the buy-in, but that's what he got today, and it was still a good pay-per-view. It was still one of the best pay-per-views that they put out in a while. But yeah, 4 hours, that's too much. Let's go match by match. Eddie Kingston defeating Chris Jericho. This was a good opener. Eddie Kingston, you can see the Japanese influence on Eddie Kingston. He just has, like, he's inspired by all these Japanese legends, Misawa, Kobashi, all those guys. You can see it in his offense, and he got a lot of offense in this match. He really did. And Chris Jericho, man, kudos to this man. He really got in shape for this match, and you could see how lean he looked, how better he looked. I mean, he attempted a lion salt and did it perfectly. And the ending of this match is Eddie Kingston tapping on Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho not shaking the hands of Eddie Kingston. So is this feud over? I don't think so. Although it was a clean finish, I don't know where both men would go from here. Maybe they will go back to feuding with each other. Maybe they'll involve Pride and Powerful even more. But at this point, it was a good match. I don't know if this feud needs to continue, but this was a good showing by Eddie Kingston. And Eddie Kingston, man, watch out for that guy. He's in line for a big push down the line, I think, in my opinion. People are so behind Eddie. Like, you can see it every time he goes out. People just love Eddie Kingston. They chant for his name every single time that they get to. So, like, continue showcasing Eddie Kingston, and he will have an audience purely backing him. Maybe he could be the first challenger if a heel wins the AEW World Championship down the line. So, yeah. Next match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, the Jurassic Express retaining in an incredible match against Red Dragon and Young Bucks. As a big Young Bucks fan, I must say, ever since AEW started, their matches are different from what I used to watch when they were still in the Indies. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing, because it means that they have evolved. They're now incorporating great storytelling in their matches. But it's really fun to see the old Young Bucks once in a while, because what I saw earlier, the performance that he had, that was a spot fest. And sometimes spot fests aren't a bad thing. Sometimes spot fest is appropriate for the card and for the placement of the match in the card. And after the brawl that we had with Eddie Kingston against Chris Jericho, it is just appropriate that we have a fast-paced spot fest match between Young Bucks, Jurassic Express, and Red Dragon. And honestly, I became a Young Bucks fan when they had this series of matches against Red Dragon and New Japan. And Red Dragon and Young Bucks, they have this incredible chemistry. I would love to see them go toe to toe in a tag team match down the line. And Jurassic Express, a lot of people coming into this match, a lot of people are saying their title run has been a flop at this point. like the tag team division is quite dead when they became the tag team champions, but they showed it tonight why they are the tag team champions, why they are the future of the tag team division. Jungle Boy, he's one of the pillars of AEW. He will probably be a big star in this company, 3 or 4 years down the line, and he showed it today. And that finish was incredible. That the spot in which he he hit that Frankensteiner on Nick Jackson, and then he landed on his feet, and then he German suplex a young buck. I think that was a Matt Jackson. That was an incredible spot. So I don't know where you go from here. Like, I think the next challengers for the tag team championships should be either FDR or Proud and Powerful. Either one of those two teams, because you can see that the Red Dragon Young Bucks storyline, that can happen without the title, and that storyline is also heading towards a breaking point at some point during this feud, especially with what happened in the World Championship match. So, yeah, great tag team match. Jurassic Express retaining the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Next match was the Face of the Revolution ladder match. With Wardlow winning the shot for the TNT Championship. Here's my gripe about AEW. They really can't book a multi-man ladder match. I'm not saying that the AEW does not know how to do a ladder match. We just saw it a few weeks ago with Sammy Guevara and Cody. That was probably the best ladder match in a while. And we also had that Lucha Bros versus Young Bucks ladder match at All Out in 2019. But here's one problem with AEW. They really can't book a ladder match with like 6 or 7 people on it. It's like earlier, it was a mess. There was some the match went 5 minutes too long in my opinion. There were some spots in which it was a mess. Like, it wasn't organized. It wasn't clean. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't a very clean match. It was very messy at times. Even that final spot, when Wardlow powerbombed Ricky Starks on that ladder, it didn't really look clean. And I don't know if it's on Wardlow, if it's on Starks, but maybe this match just, like, it didn't click for me. It didn't click somehow. But I'm glad Wardlow was the winner, and he's finally getting that singles push that a lot of people are honestly, they are behind Wardlow. And I feel like he has been a babyface for over 2 months. He is just being associated with MJF and the Pinnacle. But I feel like the face turn has already, it has already like progressed in the last couple of months, and now with what happened that we're going to talk about a little bit later, this is going to be a full-on face push for Wardlow, and I'm glad because he's my pick coming in. He's my pick to win this match, and he did. He was able to win this match, and now he has a shot for the TNT Championship. He will go up against the winner of Sammy Guevara versus who was his opponent for this Wednesday? Scorpio Sky. Yeah, he's going up against Scorpio Sky this coming Wednesday at Dynamite. TBS Championship, Jade Cargill versus Tay Conti. Not much really to say about this match, except Jade Cargill, she's a star. I've been saying, I feel like I've always been saying that every time I see Jade Cargill. She looks like a star. She presents herself like a star. She walks like a star. She talks like a star. The only thing maybe that needs some work is her wrestling, but you could see the improvement over time. You could see she's having much more longer matches when she became the TBS Championship. You could see the improvements on the fundamentals. The improvements. She doesn't really botch that. She really doesn't have botch that many anymore. And you could see the progression. You can see it. You can see the improvements, and she is already the complete package for a superstar, like women's superstar in AEW, and And again, the TBS Championship is a mid-card championship. Let's all remember that. That is meant for the younger women on the roster to mix in and improve their craft. And that again, Jade Cargill, man, she's improving day by day. I love to see it. And let's go to the next one. That's it for Jade Cargill winning that one, retaining the TBS Championship. Okay, let's go to the next one. Probably my match of the night, dog collar match, CM Punk defeating MJF. First of all, love the throwback. CM Punk bringing back the old theme song from his ROH days and bringing back his old ROH attire with the basketball shorts and the jacket. Man, that was incredible. That was my mark out moment of the night. And the match itself, it was brutal. It was dog collar matches, they're slow paced matches. They're more brutal. It's an old school type of match, and this one was no different. Like, both men really beat the fuck out of each other, and again, you really couldn't say anything anymore about this match. It is a great conclusion to a great feud. CM Punk with a win, finally getting his win over MJF. And, Wardlow with a face turn. Like, the way he did it, he was so cool, man. Everything Wardlow does is just so damn cool, honestly. Like, he's so cool. Like, Wardlow's just so fucking cool, man. You really couldn't say anything about it anymore. AEW Women's Championship, Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. Like the new belt. Didn't like the match. Didn't like the finish. Come on, man. Are you kidding me? It's like, here's my gripe about Britt Baker's title reign. Every match is the same. And what I mean by that is, at the end, either Jamie Hayter or Rebel will always interfere. And Britt Baker will always come out on top. She will never get her comeuppance. And it's really getting annoying at this point. It's really getting annoying. It's also my same problem with Roman Reigns and his Universal Championship title run. They have a great belt though, great title belt, but man, I have nothing else more to say. Like, if they're not gonna pull the trigger on Thunder Rosa, that's gonna be sad, because Thunder Rosa is one of the best women on the roster. I believe she's the one who's gonna take away the AEW Women's Championship away from Britt Baker, but they're not pulling the trigger on her somehow. For some, I don't know, for some goddamn reason they're not pulling the trigger on her. I don't know why. If there was any moment for her to win the title, it should have been tonight. It should have been today. But it didn't happen. Britt Baker is still your AEW Women's Championship champion. I'm sorry, AEW Women's Champion. It's running late. I really need to get some sleep here. And next one, we got Jon Moxley against Bryan Danielson. I love this match because it is a technical warfare. There was blood, but this was more of a technical match. I mean, it's so refreshing to see Jon Moxley wrestle this style, because like Jon Moxley, he's accustomed to the hardcore matches, to brawls. But an underrated aspect about Jon Moxley is he could absolutely do the technical matches, the mat wrestling matches. He can absolutely do that, and he was able to showcase it today against one of the best in Bryan Danielson, and that was a great match. The finish was awesome for a I love those kind of finishes in a technical match. Those are like, you are not sure if you're not sure who's gonna win. And again, that was a great match. And then the post match shenanigans. We fucking got William Regal, man. We fucking got him. Are you kidding me? William Regal is in AEW. and he slapped the shit out of Moxley and Bryan, and you know, they shook hands. He forced them to shook hands, and it looks like we're gonna get a Moxley and a Danielson tag team, or even a stable. I really want a stable here. The stable with all these great young wrestlers. Yeah. And then last two matches, the trios match, Matt Hardy, Andrade, and Isaiah Cassidy versus Sami, Sting, and Darby. Here's the only thing I'm going to say about it. They really stole the show. This was the match that I thought should have been left off the card, should have been on Dynamite, or should have been on Rampage. But man, they went through so much tables in this match. And fucking Sting, he's going to be 63. And he's still doing New Jack shit, man. He's jumping off from balconies through 8 tables. Man, Sting is amazing, man. Sting is just a fucking legend. And then the main event, Adam Page defeating Adam Cole to retain the AEW World Championship. At this point during the pay-per-view, I was already spent. I was already tired, but it was still a great match. Adam Page, man, what else can you say about Hangman? Like, he has been defending the AEW World Championship on a regular basis, and he's been having tremendous matches left and right against Bryan, Lance Archer, and now with Adam Cole. And I feel like they should continue this title reign, because the more and more matches that Adam Page has in his belt with this title reign, the more the title reign will be legitimized. Because if Adam Page will only have like 3 title defenses, doesn't really say anything that entails us that it is a good title reign, because Kenny Omega had so many during his title reign. And I feel like the AEW World Championship is one of the most protected championships on all of wrestling, because it rarely changes hands, and when it does, you know the payoff was worth it. So you can't have Adam Page losing the title this quickly. So it was a good booking decision. It was a good match. Looking forward to the next challenger, and Hangman still your AEW World Heavyweight Champion. So, also another thing that happened during the show, we got Swerve Strickland, formerly known as Swerve Scott, in the WWE. He's signing with All Elite Wrestling, and that's it. So overall, it was a good pay-per-view. It was a good event. I'll give it out of 5 stars. Maybe I'll give it a 4, a solid 4, because the highs were highs, and there weren't really much lows. Maybe a couple of matches didn't really lived up to the hype. But overall, the event has been awesome. Pre-show was great. Main card has been awesome. So yeah, looking forward to the next pay-per-view, which is Double or Nothing. That's gonna be on May. That's gonna be on Vegas. So again, to wrap this up, please follow me on all my social media accounts: on Facebook at Emile Meister, on Twitter at Emile_Meister, on Instagram at Emile Meister, and I'm on Twitch. I haven't been streaming on Twitch for a long time, but I'm there, so just give me a follow. But I haven't been there. I haven't been streaming because I'm still in a weird transition phase with my old job to my new job. So yeah, but thank you to all the support though. And again, this has been the AEW Revolution post-review show. And also this is the conclusion of the first Daily Zap for a long time, man. I haven't been doing any videos for a long time. So this has been Emile Meister, the one and only, saying have a good day, and I will see you on the next one.